Welcome to the Multiply Your Success podcast, where each week we help growth-minded entrepreneurs and franchise leaders take the next step in their expansion journey. I'm your host, Tom Dufour, CEO of Big Sky Franchise Team, and as we open today, I'm wondering if you've ever thought about building an international brand, or have you ever wondered what it might be like to lead and grow a brand through national and international expansion and growth? Well, our guest today is Tianna Strateman, who is the brand president of Club Pilates, and she shares with us her insights and lessons learned on growing from 200 franchises to more than 1,400 around the world. Now, Tianna discovered Pilates at just 12 years old as a way to support her training as a dancer, sparking a lifelong passion for the practice. While studying business, entrepreneurship, nutrition, and health at the University of Southern California, she also became a certified Pilates instructor. Today, Tianna combines her business expertise and love for Pilates as president of Club Pilates, the largest premium Pilates brand in the world with more than 1,000 studios globally. You're going to love this interview, so let's go ahead and jump right into it.
My name is Tianna Strateman, and I'm the brand president for Club Pilates.
Tianna, thank you so much for being a guest here today. And I'd love for you just to share your story and a little bit of how you ended up here with the business and a little background on that.
Yeah, so I think my background's pretty unique. I mean, if we go way back, I have always been interested in business. I think just following my family and family businesses, I knew from a very young age I was going to study business, I was going to be in business, and there was no other path. It just is what it is. So I studied business at the University of Southern California. I chose my emphasis in entrepreneurship because that is what spoke to me most before entrepreneurship was really a buzzword and as popular as it is today. I just was looking at the different avenues of finance and marketing. I'm like, I like them all, but I kind of want to do everything. So entrepreneurship is where I landed. I also have always been super passionate about health and wellness and fitness. I was a competitive dancer growing up. Nutrition, all of that really spoke to me from a very young age. So I minored in nutrition and health promotion. And really every role that I've taken in my career has been centered around health, wellness, fitness. I'm truly passionate about it, and it's where I have to spend my time doing something that I truly believe in and I feel like has a great impact on the world. So really the blend of all of that, plus my Pilates background. I've been in the Pilates space since I was 12 years old. I started rehabbing from a dance injury back then. It was at a physical therapy office, so very different from the world of Pilates today. And I really fell in love with it and got certified when I was in college. And really, I think the unique background of those things actually led me to this role.
I'd love for you to talk a little bit about your brand and the system with the kind of growth that you've had globally now, over 1,000 locations around the world. And I'd love for you to just talk a little bit about what is it that you think might have led you to this kind of growth, any trends or things that you've noticed?
It's really, really incredible. When I started with the brand, we had just about 200 doors open. We were only in the United States, and now 1,400 plus locations around the world. I believe we're in 22 countries at this point, so it's just amazing. But so many things really led to that success. I would say the product, the offering, and what we create inside of the studio first and foremost, and the experience and the customers that come into our studios and the members that stay with us really have fallen in love with the workout and fallen in love with the brand, which is incredible. We've had incredible franchisees that have helped bring this to life. We can have the perfect product and the perfect offering, but if we don't have incredible franchisees that can actually deliver on that experience, then the brand can't be what it is, right? So incredible franchisees and every person that really touches a studio, from their general managers to the instructors to the master instructors, every person that's involved in bringing it to life, I think has really fueled that success. And a team here that works super hard every day, is super passionate about what we do, and both helping franchisees grow their businesses, but also helping people find Pilates and make Pilates a part of their lives, have really all been pieces that have led to the success of the brand today.
That's really a nice overview on that. And one thing I'd like for you to talk about is your tiered class system and really how you're able to support and engage with athletes and customers at all fitness levels. So I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's one of the most amazing things about Pilates and about Club Pilates is Pilates can really meet you where you're at. So if you are very new to fitness or you've never done Pilates, there is a class for you. If you are a very seasoned practitioner and have been doing this for years and years and years and want to be challenged in different ways, we have those classes and those higher level classes for those members as well. So really there's a path for growth. But one of the things that I always like to say about Pilates is it's never easy. Even if you are a very seasoned practitioner, you can go to a level 1 class and still get an incredible workout and still get so much out of that experience. So it's just really speaks to the practice itself. The amazing instructors we have, our instructors typically have over 500 hours of teaching experience before they start teaching in a studio. So they're able to provide modifications and progressions and regressions and really make the workout applicable to the entire room, but can make those modifications for the individual so that each person really gets the most out of every single class.
I was actually just going to ask about modifications and how that might change from it's top of mind for me. I am fresh on a knee injury from doing way more than I should have. I coach my boys' baseball teams and I did way more baseball practice than I should have and injured myself. And so now I'm thinking, well, if I'm at a Pilates class, I probably am not going to be able to do the standard program that I'd be going through at the moment. So how have you been able to accommodate that not only at an individual location, but now with over 1,000, how does that all transpire and how are you able to make that happen for your customers?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, first of all, you need Pilates, so we'll start with that. It's really our amazing instructors and them having the vast experience and learning and really learning how to work with all different bodies, all different injuries and imbalances, and really using the different equipment and the different exercises to really counterbalance that and give people strength where they need strength or more mobility where they need more mobility or flexibility in some cases. If you were to come into a class and explain that to an instructor, they would automatically know that you're not going to have full range of motion. So we're going to limit your range of motion and focus on building the muscles that surround your knee to give you that strength and also work on getting mobility back and really weave that into the exercise. We also do have private training in our studio. So for people that are looking for a very specific ask or have a very specific goal that they're working towards, that the instructor can really cater that experience exactly to them. You will get that in the group experience, but obviously one-on-one, you're going to get that a little bit more. So yeah, it's really our amazing instructors and they are the magic behind the experience and the brand and what they do.
As you talk about these instructors that are a part of the program, it makes me think about your franchisees at a local level that are probably recruiting and finding these instructors and going through that. So I'd love to have you talk a little bit about the kinds of franchisees maybe you're looking to bring into your system or that have found success in your system and how you support them in finding the right kinds of instructors and trainers and staff to fulfill this great service you're providing to your customers?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have successful franchisees from all different backgrounds, from corporate lives in the past that want to have more of an entrepreneurial endeavor to people that have been instructors themselves and really want to be on the business side but don't have the business background or the knowledge when it comes to sales and marketing and operations and really those pieces. And then more recently, I would say a lot of our newer franchisees are actually members of the brands themselves. So they have experienced it and they love it and they want to bring it to another area and be able to impact people like the way they feel like they've been impacted. So that's really powerful to see that group come in and really, doing this 1,000+ times at this point. We have really recognized how to support different franchisees based on their backgrounds, based on what they need, and really catering our support to that. when it comes to instructors specifically, that is, teaching them what to look for in instructors and the qualifications and what those requirements are. It also is where to find these individuals, how to engage with them, how to vet different candidates and the things to look for that are important in the brand. But one of the most important things is for a franchisee to just get to know their candidates and to experience a class as if they were the member, because they don't need to be experts in the technical Pilates skills or did they do this exercise perfectly correct. That's all super important, but it's also equally as important that they feel like it was a great experience and it was a workout that they would want to do again, because that's likely what a member would feel who isn't a Pilates expert themselves, right? So really giving them those tools to find a great team and to support their instructors and all the different resources that we provide for their staff, for their instructors to continue to learn and train and level up. And that's all those different tools that we provide at our level for the various groups in the studio.
You'd mentioned joining the brand around 200 locations and now well over 1,000. One of the things that I always am fascinated by and love learning from someone in your position is how you're able to maintain the overarching values and philosophy or ethos within the brand as you grow to such a scale around the country and around the world.
It's certainly not easy, but it's something that's super important to us. And in continuing to highlight that for our franchisees and for consumers out there, Pilates is really the number one modality in fitness at this time. So it's even more important today that we can share and highlight our competitive differentiation, not only for our franchisees, but for customers that are out there looking for Pilates. And really, it just comes back to just simple. What is our vision? What is our values? What does this brand represent? We talk about it at the very beginning stages at Discovery Day, all the way through your initial franchise training, and really making sure that in every training that we do and every material that we provide to franchisees or to their general manager or to their instructors, really point back to who we are and what we do at Club Pilates. I mean, first and foremost, we believe that Pilates is for everybody. And it's really important that we have a very inclusive space and a community where people feel welcome and that people aren't intimidated by Pilates. I know the equipment can look scary and what is that and can I do that? And really making people feel comfortable and feel like it's that third space that they can come to. So yeah, it's not easy. And we are always looking at ways to continue to reinforce our brand values and our brand mission and make sure that every single person that represents the brand is on the same page.
You mentioned a little bit about sharing the values and the mission and purpose of the organization into the Discovery Day and then into training and beyond. Are you able to share any specific instances of what that might look like? And really thinking of a Discovery Day, maybe someone that culturally does not fit and how that might work. And then when you find someone that does, how that person goes through the process.
Yeah, I think early on, like those come up in, those initial conversations about the brand, and you can identify pretty quickly if someone's going to be a right fit, for this. And the business opportunity aside, that, you know, we really encourage that this is your responsibility to bring this to life in your community. And community doesn't just happen when you open your doors. It's something that has to be created and a lot of hard work that goes into that. And while you yourself might not be in your studio every day or that sort of franchisee, that's fine. But making sure then you have the tools and the resources and the team to really bring that to life. I think those real conversations are important to have up front, and how important it is for us to protect the brand and make sure that franchisees that come into the system are aligned and excited about that. And like I mentioned, more of our newer franchisees are already members, so they already are huge believers in the brand. And I love when they come in and they tell me more about the brand than sometimes I even know, because they're such believers and really truly love the brand. So that's really exciting for me.
What advice might you give to someone that's new in having franchised their business as they look to launch and grow?
stay true to who you are and your brand, what proof of concept that you were able to create to get to the point that you are franchising, and really what that magic is, but then really be adaptable and pivot, because if you stay so stuck in the mud, likely the business is going to evolve, beyond you, right? So trying to find that balance of staying true to what you know and what your offering is and all those details, but also being open to feedback from your franchisees and learning from them, and the people boots on the ground and those early adopters can really teach you so much that is critical for you to continue to scale, and really partner with them to understand that and give them the tools and resources to help them be successful.
How has being a parent and a president of a global brand, how's that impacted your leadership?
I, as a leader today, lead with so much empathy. I think that is in everything that I do, is really to recognize people as humans and lead authentically. I think before I had kids and before my life is more complicated like it is today, I was always trying to be perfect and buttoned up. And now it was pouring rain today. I had a 4-year-old melting down on my leg and scared to go to preschool because of the rain. And you just pivot and you go. And I think everyone is going through different human experiences every single day. So I really try to lead with empathy and authenticity and to be strong for my team. But I would hope that every single one of my team members knows that I'm here for them. I'm here to support them, whether it's whatever they're going through. And hopefully I can be a better leader by just being real and being authentic and supporting them where they're at. And I think it's taught me a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to do it all has been the most humbling experience.
Well, I relate fully with you on that for sure. Just accepting the reality of what it is with whatever your kid's going through. It just, so like you described, that situation was a great example of what today. Been there many a
Yep.
times. I totally relate to that for sure. Is Pilates just, do you see this as a trend? How do you see this changing, or is this here for the long haul in your opinion? Where do you see this headed?
Personally, I think it's here for the long haul. I can only speak personally that it's been a part of my life since a very young age, and it's really gotten me through so many different life phases, from when I was a competitive athlete and rehabbing from injury to then trying to realize that I needed to build strengths in places I was weak to support me and in my sport that I was doing, to another life phase where I just want to be in great shape and I want to be healthy, to I'm pregnant and just trying to move and stay active, and then postpartum and everything in between. I like to see my mother-in-law. She's in her late 70s. She's been doing Pilates for 30 plus years. So I just see this being a part of my life forever. And I can really see that in our members and their various life journeys that they're going through, that I think is really unique about this modality. Like I said, it meets you where you're at. And depending on your goal and your life phase, it can really support you where you're at. Our member testimonials, I mean, that's what gets me up every single day, that these emails that come in from people that are going through different phases of life, whether, recovering from breast cancer or something personal in their lives, or a knee injury, or someone who hasn't worked out in 15 years and has found something that they can do and they love and they feel like they can do it every single day. I mean, those testimonials are really powerful. So I think it's here to stay.
For someone who'd like to learn more about what you're doing or connect with the brand, what's the best way for somebody to do that?
Yeah, our website, clubpilates.com. You'll find all of our locations and more about the brand and everywhere where we are. And obviously on all social channels, Club Pilates on Instagram, on Facebook, TikTok, you name it, you can find us and see what we're up to in the brand and what's going on in our studios around the world.
Fantastic. Well, Tianna, this is a great time in the show, and we make a transition and we ask every guest the same 4 questions before they go. And the first question we ask is, have you had a miss or 2 on your journey and something you learned from it?
A miss or 2 or 1,000, I'm missing at something at any given day, right? To think of one specifically, I would say not trusting my gut more than I should. I think that is, I can think of a number of scenarios where I didn't listen to my gut, and your gut is usually right. So I'm trying to think of one that comes to mind, but that's a resounding one that happens. But every single day we're missing and pivoting and learning and trying to grow and be better than we were yesterday. So,
Well, let's look on the other side. Let's talk about a win or a highlight or two.
I mean, to think of going from 200 locations to 1,400 globally is incredible. Every time a location opens in a new country and seeing this experience being brought to life around the world is just so exciting that there's people in Japan doing Pilates just like they are here and loving the brand and the experience. We launched our very first brand campaign and commercial last week. So that was a really exciting one for the brand that had been a long time in the making. So, I mean, there's been so many highlights, but yeah, that's just a couple recently.
Yeah, just a quick spin-off question from your comment there, going from 200 to 1,400 and being there along the way. It just got me thinking about how you adjusted as you grew, as the system grows like that.
I mean, it's ever evolving. I would say a lot of our systems are similar, but my mentality is they can always be better. So I think once we figure out something and we've got the playbook and it's there, it's how do we make it 2% better? What else can we do to make our trainings better, our materials better, better ways to communicate with franchisees and get them the information they need since they're inundated with running their business and information from us and managing all the pieces that go along with it. So I would say back then we probably, actually, not probably, we didn't have as many answers as we have today. We were still, flying the plane, figuring things out, and new challenges that would come up every single day. So challenges are always there, and we're just trying to find better ways to solve and better tools and resources to give everyone kind of in our ecosystem. So that was the same at 200 locations as it is today. But we have a lot more answers now, which is nice, but new problems arise and we're trying to solve for those.
Have you used a multiplier to multiply yourself personally or professionally or organizations you've run?
I would say it's kind of along the lines of what I just mentioned, but like the never settle attitude to me, and we can always be better. And I hold myself accountable to that I'm always trying to be better today than I was yesterday, even just a little bit. And in everything that we do, just having that striving for that level of excellence, I think has really helped me in my personal life and in my professional life. And I hope that it inspires those around me. I know that I have so many people in my life, and both in personally and professionally, that inspire me. And it's people that have great attitudes, that deal with the challenges as they come, and really have that commitment to excellence and wanting to be great, I think is really important.
That's wonderful. And the final question we ask every guest is, what does success mean to you?
I would say success is having a happy, healthy family, getting time with my loved ones, making an impact on the world, and doing good. And that's really what success looks like to me, trying to make the world a better place and living happy, healthy lives and wishing that for those around me. That's success.
Tianna, as we bring this to a close, is there anything you were hoping to share or get across that you haven't had a chance to yet?
I would say just look out for your local Club Pilates, come in for your first free class and try it out and see what you think. And hopefully you'll be a practitioner for life. Our taglines, do Pilates, do life. So come see us. We'd love to meet you and show you what we're all about. And yeah.
Tianna, thank you so much for a fantastic interview. And let's go ahead and jump into today's 3 key takeaways. So takeaway number 1 is when she talked about Pilates being for everyone and that it's never easy, no matter what level of difficulty you're at, from beginner to advanced, there's something for everyone to be challenged. Takeaway number 2 is when she talked about giving advice for new franchisors or emerging franchisors. And I liked how she said you need to be true to who you are as your brand, but also stay adaptable and pivot. And so to me, I looked at that and saying, well, you need to be firm on those foundational values, but flexible on what the market conditions might be calling for or adjusting to. Takeaway number 3 is when she talked about growth and change in the systems when growing from 200 to over 1,400 locations. And she said, At 200, she was still figuring things out. And I find that interesting. For a lot of brands, that someone that might listen into this, you might say, wow, still at 200, you're figuring it out. I think that's a great takeaway there. And that at 1400, they're still working on things and learning and adjusting, she said, because there are always new problems. It's just they have a lot more answers now. I thought that was a great summary on how she described that. And now it's time for today's win-win. So today's win-win comes when Tianna said, community doesn't just happen when you open the doors. I thought that was a great quote. And I'm going to say it again. Community doesn't just happen when you open the doors. And she described and talked about how it takes a lot of work in creating that. And I think she's right. But when you create that community and you create that for your customers, your franchisees, your team members, all of the people connected to the brand, it really does create something special. So while creating a great business is wonderful, creating that community to go along with it really helps to amplify things in a positive way. And I think that's a great win-win. That's going to be a win for you, your stakeholders, the franchisees, the employees, the team members, everyone that's connected to the brand. And so that's the episode today, folks. Please make sure you subscribe to the podcast and give us a review. And remember, if you or anyone you know might be ready to franchise their business, take their franchise company to the next level, please connect with us at bigskyfranchiseteam.com to schedule your free, no obligation consultation with me or someone else on our team. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to having you back next week.